So this is the third in a series of chair-based exercise sessions for people delivering activities in care settings. It's a mix between the first and the second. So the first sort of session was about mobilisation, it's gentle repeated movement. The second one was about stretching. It was about static stretching, where you took the stretch out and you held it in position. This one is about dynamic stretching, which isn't quite mobilisation and it's not quite static stretching, it's something that's in between. So the easiest way to show it or to figure it out for yourself if you're sitting at home watching this is to bring your hands together, to stretch up and hold it. Now if you're holding that position, that's a static stretch, it's not moving anywhere. If I do the same movement lightly, it's a shoulder mobilisation. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to do the same movement, but as I do it, I'm going to stretch up high as I can and bring it back. And I'll try to link that to my breathing. So I've got full lungs now. I exhale and I breathe in. And I exhale. And I breathe in, and I exhale, and I breathe in, and I exhale, and I breathe in. Normally those movements are repeated for in between 8 to 12 times. The general reason they do that, I'm not going to go too much into it, but basically you'll reach a limit of how far you can be able to stretch, and that normally comes in between 8 and 12 times. And if you want to increase if you want to carry on increasing the flexibility and the mobility of the person, you don't want to hammer the stretch in when nothing's happening. So when they've reached capacity is normally when we stop. In all honesty, with older people, it really doesn't make that much odds, because what I'm talking about is with elite athletes. These guys, we're just trying to keep them moving at some sort of level. So if we look at some of the ideas, remember the hands don't work so well, the wrists don't work so well as a stretch. But if we bring the hands in and then open them out, we end up with a dynamic movement, each one a little bit further back, and a little bit further back, and a little bit further back. If you've got someone sitting here, you can bring the elbows back rather than open the hands right up. Hand here, and bring it down, and bring it down. So now I assist to bring the movement back a little bit further. The head, so just gently looking over, and looking over. Each one works like a piece of elastic, so I take it around as far as it will go comfortably and bring it back the other way. I've said it on all the videos so far, if someone is feeling dizzy or it hurts, it's not a do or die situation. They don't need to do the neck movement. In fact, you can take it out of nearly all the other movements, strip it right out completely. The down. So each one, I'm almost allowing the weight of the head to bring me forward and to stretch out the back of the neck. But what you'll notice, it's not a bouncing movement, it's a nice, smooth, control movement. If I bring myself back a little bit, hands onto the legs, so I reach down, breathe out, breathe out, and breathe in. Going to go down a little bit further, and breathe in, and down a little bit further, and breathe in, and down a little bit further, and breathe in. So progressively with each movement I'm going further and further down. Same with the twist. I'm probably just going to keep it to the one side. So I'm stretching around as far as I can go, and then easing it off. And repeat that on the other side. Down to the floor. and each time I'm trying to get further and further down. So I don't know if you can see it in the video, but I've got my hand so it's completely flat on the floor. Older people, if they don't make the floor and don't get anywhere near it, it's not a problem. It's just you're heading in that general direction. Another variation would be on the toe. So we pull and we point, and each time we pull, we pull a little bit harder and we point a little bit further. So again, you're stretching out but mobilising as well, functionally stretching the tissue into the ankle and the calf. So that little session, if you did it, would probably take you about 15 to 20 minutes. Again, it's a piecemeal thing. You don't have to do all the stretches. No one's going to die if you don't do them all. But you can mix and match with the other sessions that we've actually done so far.